What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Barkley with Barkley Outdoors, and today we are going to be doing some broadhead testing. As you know, in the last video, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I got a brand new hunting arrow setup for this year. We're going a lot heavier, and we're going to go for some deep penetration. Okay, so today we're doing broadhead testing. And we're just going to be doing practical accuracy and flight of broadheads I already have. We're not doing sharpness or edge retention or stuff like that. If you're interested in that, Born and Raised Outdoors has a 4-part series. It is phenomenal. They do all sorts of tests. This is not that. This is everyday practical shooting from an everyday practical guy of what he's going to take hunting on this hog hunt here in a month. So, let's find out what is best. First up is the 100 grain Rage Hypodermic NC. Alright guys, so the Rage, it flew about 2 inches right and 2 inches down of center. So I'm not super stoked about that. But the good part is that here on the back, you can see that it did get full deployment. Both of those guys locked out. Well, I thought they would have locked out. They were at least out. But again, that's kind of the problem some people have been having with these, is that they either don't deploy fully, or when they deploy, they can fold right back in like that because they're not locking out properly. All right, guys, next up is the Grim Reaper Whitetail SS. Okay guys, so second shot, pretty much the same flight. It kind of took out the left-right issue, but it was still about 2 inches over. So the weird thing is, it kind of blew out this hole in the back, and as we came up, none of these wings, which should be all three folding back for a freaking huge wound channel, they're all shut. And since they are spring-loaded, you know, like when I shot my doe with this last year, when I found it on the ground, all of them were closed up like this. But as you pulled open these blades, you could see that there was debris down in the bottom, and it was obvious that they had been open and had deployed like they're supposed to when they hit the animal. So this may be a fluke on the target, but once again, this is just the option for it not to do its job is a big reason of why I'm trying to move away from mechanicals, so that there is just absolutely no question that when it hits the animal, it's not just penetrating, it is cutting like it's supposed to. All right, here goes the Muzzy 3-blade. Alright, so here's the Muzzy 3-blade. Great penetration considering the other ones. And this one flew about 1 inch down and 2 inches left. So not exactly the flight that I'm looking for without having to make adjustments. Alright, and on the exit here, we have 3 obvious blade cuts. Great penetration. And with this trokar tip and decent thickness blades of good steel, it's a great, cheaper option. All right, next up is the Muzzy trokar. Alrighty, so far penetration wise, the trokar is king. It buried itself down to the veins in this target, and it flew a little low, about an inch low, inch left on the front, and obviously it came out at a different angle. We're shooting this block at an angle, by the way. So overall, it destroyed this thing. It's a proven broadhead. They fly really well, and honestly, that inch or half inch was probably just me on the release. So overall, especially looking at the front, it hit pretty much on the mark, and it's a great sharp little broadhead. All right, next up is the G5 Montec CS. Alrighty, everybody, this G5 Montec, it flew awesome. We've got some on the GoPro video. You can tell though on the front, it hit right here and just blew clean through. Nice deep penetration. It so far is the winner in terms of field point accuracy. So we'll keep an eye on it. Next up is the Muzzy 1. Alright guys, this is the Muzzy 1, and holy penetration and pretty much dead on accuracy. It buried itself to about an inch away from the veins on the penetration side, and back here it didn't rip or blow anything out like some of these other ones. It just zoomed on through. Very good. Alright, next up is the Annihilator broadhead. Really interested to see how these fly on this new setup. The Annihilator is trying to rip all the brand new veins off. That is some penetration. That's crazy. And as accurate as I could hope to be. I mean, what else can you say? It just pushed everything. It didn't even rip. This is from that last one up here. That's just nasty deep penetration. Last one up is the 125 grain Kudu Contour Plus with the bleeder blades. I not so low-key really want this one to win. Single bevel beast. Alright guys, and that is some knock deep penetration. That is ridiculous. And it's doing what we've seen a lot of these single bevels do on these, compressed foam targets. It hits and that single bevel starts to twist and it cracks. These aren't cuts, these are cracks out from where that started to spin. And then just penetration wise, came out right there, and you can see the bleeder blades. It came out vertical and still continued to twist to where it's flat now. That is wild. Now I'm going to try and get this out of here without ripping all the veins off. So wish me luck. So the conclusion of the broadhead tests for 2020. The winner of the Barkley broadhead of 2020 for my rig is the Kudu 125 Contour Plus with those bleeder blades on the back. So I ended up just adjusting the sight to make this fly where I wanted it to. It tuned out great. I'll put in some pictures of some 30-yard shots at the end of the day. It's actually hitting so hard that it is knocking the target off of its supports. So very excited. It's what I'm going to take hog hunting, what I'm going to take whitetail hunting, and it's a phenomenal blade. It flies really well over distance in my bow, and I'm really excited. So Kudu for the win. Let's get out there.